Well, I'm back. I finished the top. As you can see, came out pretty nice. It's amazing. You kind of have to put the whole thing together and then slide it down onto the piece. I thought I'd never get it on here without maybe tapering things more in the middle part here, kind of making more of a slant to get it in there. And I kind of futzed with it a while and it went right on, so that was pretty cool. See, not all my 60-degree angles were perfect, but I think I can glue it and stain it in a way that you won't notice that. So what I did do is I did do a lot of sanding, a lot of work loosening things up, so that it was tapered here and angled here, and it wasn't quite as tight going in the middle hole. Because once you put this all together, you have no choice but to put it on all at once. Now the plan is that these two pieces will be glued together, but the top and this will be glued together, and that needs to be a lot looser on here because I want the top to be able to come off in case I want to electrify it, which I think I'm going to do something interesting with it. But before we get there, I have to basically do all the staining and the two different colors I'm going to do, kind of a black and a red stain. Both are darker. Any pieces that I can glue together before staining, okay, I've glued together what I could and stained it. Just right here I was able to glue the base together, then stain that. And then this middle piece I had also glued prior by gluing the edges all together and just keeping it in the frame with the top and the bottom on it until it was set up. And I stained that. I tried to leave a little wood exposed in some of the spots where it's going to glue so it at least holds together a little better. Now the top, obviously there's quite a few pieces that I couldn't assemble prior to staining. I wouldn't be able to make the two separate colors. Also, I tried to keep it so that, let's see, this is the top side, that might be easier to maybe make I'm going to make the center of this white or reflective to amplify the light inside the final lantern. So that's just a couple things. So it wasn't necessary to stain everything. And there's the inside parts of this that'll hold glue better, plus you'll never see that. So I just wanted to get the edge stained so that you wouldn't see the white, and then left as much white as I could. Same with the base. Make sure everything that you're going to see is stained. Granted, these you probably will never see the back side, but it's just easier to stain the whole panel. So what I'm going to try and do now is start assembling some of the pieces that I can put together at this point and glue. So that'll be, namely, I'm going to start with the feet and the base. Those guys are just going to go in here, and I'll just get everything. Ooh, that's tight. Well, I'll get them all together in here. No, they'll be glued this time, so there's no coming apart. I guess it swelled a little bit, but that should be fine. Only has to go in once now. So I'll get that glued in. I have the feet glued on the ends. So again, those are just going to go on the ends like that. For the panels now and the roof, I should be able to glue that separately from the top over here, which I will glue to the base. But I've angled and filed a whole lot of stuff to make things fit a bit looser so it's easier to get together when I'm done. So essentially this is going to be glued a little bit here and around here and in the edges here, right here. So that's going to sit on there when it's all, obviously all the pieces. So first, I guess I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here to start building the panels together. Once again, I've rounded these edges a bit, rounded the end, just everything so it fits together a little looser than originally. The first time I put it all together, it was way too tight. So, and hopefully, I'll just build up one side at a time, try to do it fast enough that nothing sets up permanently. I go make my rounds on this. So in the end, I'm going to just put a rubber band around the top, kind of keep all the tips together as close as I can and as best I can. Just kind of slip these in. Careful not to twist them or you'll snap apart your structure. Oh, and now I put that guy in backwards. Just keep building them up one panel at a time. Just leave the last one to put in as the hardest one always. Guess that's to be expected. Here. Get in there. And then just, it all kind of ends up being pulled apart a bit to get this last one in. Then you can kind of just slip it in. Right there. A little bit here. And surprisingly, it all just ends up going together. And we seem to have a pretty big gap in the middle, so hopefully I can get it all to go into the base. It's kind of a one-shot deal almost. So I just put a little glue in here. Suppose I wouldn't need to glue this part. I'm just going to put a little glue on that part. If I get it in position, it should just rest right in nicely. In the past, I just kind of worked it around. It would just end up going in. Oh, not quite. I'm losing it on this one here. Maybe we can do better on that one. Maybe a different spot. You know, so that's not really working that well. Maybe. Oh, there it is. I got it. I was just about to give up and try something else. Now, that's going to just sit like that. Ooh, that's a nice roof. I like that. Now I'm going to just put some rubber band around here real tight to hold the peak together nice and good. Here she is, glued together. One layer of spray on coat of spar varnish. To spray it, I just kind of put it on a stick, kind of spin it around while I was spraying. Get the inside a little, get the bottom and stuff. It's pretty easy that way. And I just stuck it on a vise. It worked out pretty good. So I'll take this off. One thing I did mess up, you can kind of see it on camera a little bit. So in my haste to glue everything up, I didn't pay attention to the fact that I hadn't pushed this in all the way. So it's glued in tight on one side, and we got a bit of a gap on the other side, probably almost an 1/8 inch. I don't really have any way of fixing that. I haven't completely decided what I'm going to do to the inside of this yet. Probably a white paper diffuser type thing for the whatever I do for lighting inside of it. It'll be a LED based light, obviously. You don't want to do anything that's hot or high wattage because it's an enclosed piece of wood. But I think it'll come out alright. I'll slide the top on here. Alright. I've just put together a paper sleeve to put in there. And I set up a little test with these WS 2812 LEDs that more commonly known, I believe, as NeoPixels. I've set them up with a few different light sequences. I'm going to just put that in there. This effect doesn't come through that great on the camera, but it's supposed to simulate kind of a flickering flame. This one, well, that's a strobe effect. Not sure why you'd want to do that, but just playing around. This one's more of a sparkle effect, or at least that's what it was called. This one is kind of it's more of a kind of a magenta color that's flickering. This one just kind of cycles through different colors. So anyway, that's just one possible way I'll light it in the end. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do, but this will be the end of the video series. The plans are already available on my website. I will be updating them some more, so if you did purchase them, I'll send an email out when they have more updates in them. Right now the plans are complete to the point where all the patterns necessary to build this are in there. I'm just going to be adding photographs and stuff to them. So I want to thank everybody that's already purchased plans, and thanks for watching my series here.